Hello everyone, this is the second part of the video, so I'm going to continue with question 16. So this is another question that is considered a bit harder than normal. I'm going to zoom this all the way in because they ask you to find to draw the tangent at x equal to 2 here. So it's basically at this exact point here. So you do have the equation of the curve, so you cannot cheat using A maths. So what is a good tangent? You must understand what is a good tangent. So from this point that I want to draw, if I go a certain spacing, let's say maybe 1 cm, the space is about here, the gap is here. If I go from here also 1 cm, the gap is here. So you see that these two gaps is actually almost the same in size. So that's the definition of a good tangent. So you need to know how to draw a good tangent. Then after that, you got to choose 2 points, right? So I always say, please choose the point they ask you to write, to draw at. It's so obvious. Obviously, you choose this point, and then you draw it a bit longer, as long as possible. You choose a perfect point that is exactly at the axis. So this point is exactly at the cross junction. This is the perfect point to choose. So I write down the 2 points here and here, and then I continue to do. Okay, so let me zoom it back to a normal size. Okay, so I write the 2 points here. So it's y minus y divided by x minus x. So here, and then this is your answer. Finish. Okay, so this is the easy part. So this is the hard part now. So I tell you, there's a point A, 4, 0. So it's here A, and then there's a B somewhere. So this B is non-zero integer. So that means this P and Q cannot be 0 and cannot be decimal. So it must be whole numbers. Okay, and then the curve is something like that. It's an x cubed curve, right? So it's a general x cubed curve. And then the line AB is just a line, right? So it's equal mx plus c. So you can see that they write the equation this equal this has no solution. You must realize that this is here and then this is here. So basically, when you equate the curve and the line, the curve equal to the line, there's no answer. Now this is a test of whether you truly understand what is graphical method. When an equation like this has no answer, this graph and this graph must not cut. Okay, and that's what you need to know. Once you know this, it becomes very easy. So all I got to do is, I need to choose, A is fixed for me. I need to choose another point. Let's say I choose here. And then if I join these 2 points, this ruler becomes my line AB. The question is, does this ruler cut this graph? It will never cut this graph. So this point is correct. So 6, 1 is one possible point. Another possible point is 7, 1 also can. Okay, so if I use 7, 1, you can see that it looks like this. This is the AB line, and again, this ruler will never touch the graph, right? So there's a few answers, but this is how you do it. So once you choose, you must answer the question. So suggest a possible point. So this one, 6, 1 is possible, and explain why. So basically, AB does not cut the curve, hence the equation has no solution. Finished. So if you understand the theory, this is like a very easy question. Okay. So next one is our typical bisector question. This classic question. Okay, so I want what? Bisector of BC. I'm going to draw it live on the spot because no point looking at the answer. So BC is here. I need to bisect this way somewhere in the middle. So I put at one corner. I open it a bit more than half. So this halfway is about here, right? So this is more than half. No problem. So I draw the arc here. I draw below. So I got the 2 arcs. You can see right here and here. Okay, let me draw it a bit harder. Yeah, so I go to the other side without changing the compass. I draw. So here. So at this point, I got 2 arcs. I simply just join it. So this will be the line. Let's draw it long. Okay, so next thing I need to draw is the bisector of the angle ADC. So that will be this angle. I need to bisect this angle. So same thing. Let's open it a bit smaller this time around. I put it in the middle. I draw these 2. Okay, I draw the 2 arcs. Then I continue without changing the compass. I'm going to put it at the 2 places where they cut. I draw here. I draw again. So I'm creating a cross here, and then I just join. Again, please draw it long. Some people draw halfway, they don't understand how to do. Okay, so after that, I tend to want to label. So this is my part A. This is my part B. So now I need to do the shading. The shading is generally a bit harder. So I want it to be nearer to B than C. So between these two, nearer to B is here, right? So it's on the left side of this line. So anything here is fine. Okay, and then I need to be nearer to CD than to AD. So between these two lines, I need to be nearer to this line. So that's what this line is for, see, the bisector. So it needs to be on this side. So we have two criteria here. It must be here and it must be here. So there's only one area that is overlapping. So this must be my C. This one is the answer. Okay. Next, this is a typical simple vector question. So they give you AB, they give you AC. It's good to draw it out. So AB, AC, the arrow is pointing out because it's A to B, A to C, right? So like that. Eventually, I want what the length of BC. So it's the vector or the line, how you see it. So BC, so it's B to C, so it's this direction. So we're going to form the equation. Okay, it's hard to write down what is BC straight away, but I like to do the arrow thing. So I start from here. I want to follow the arrow, right? So it's here, here is equal to here. In vector, in maths, is AB plus BC is equal to AC. This is a triangle law I write down here. And you realize AB I have, AC I have, BC I need to find. So it's just much like algebra like that. So I put in AB, AC I put in. I need this, right? So this one needs to go to the right side. Finish. It's just normal algebra looking kind of manipulation. I get 1/8, but 1/8 is not the answer. I want the length of this 1/8. So square square plus together, that's the formula, and you get the answer. Okay, so next question is coordinate geometry. This is just coordinate geometry, right? So these 2 points, I give one the length. I just put the formula in. So it's x plus x, x minus x square, then y minus y square. It's exactly this. Press the calculator, done. Okay, so next one I want the line AB equation. So equation, I always talk about these two things. You need one gradient, you need 1 point. So the 1 point is very obvious. It's either one of it. Both got negative numbers, so I just anyhow choose one. I choose this one. Okay, I choose this one. And then the gradient, I need the gradient, right? So from the 2 points, I can get the gradient. So again, it's y minus y, x minus x. So here, y minus y, x minus x. So it's negative 8/9. So I put it here. So my gradient I have, my 1 point I have. I'm going to sub it into a typical line, which is y equal mx plus c. So y is 5, x is minus 2, m is the gradient, is negative 8/9. So I slot it all in here, y, x, m, c. So it's y equal mx plus c. I'm going to solve for c. Simplify, move it around, solve. So this is the c. Eventually it's y equal mx plus c. The c comes from here. Done. After that, this is a sec 1 work. Something that cuts the x-axis is some number comma 0. So y is confirmed 0. I'm going to sub y equals 0 in. This one shift over, this one divide over. It becomes 9/8 instead. Press calculator, that's the answer. Finish. Next question. This is our distance time. Now be careful, this is distance time, not speed time. You've got to open your eyes and see. Okay, so what? Jogging from a park, from the home jog to the park, rest, jog back. Okay, so this is the home, this is the park. So I go all the way there. They ask you what? How far is the park from the home? So from 0 to 3. So it's 3 kilometers lah. After that, ask you the speed. So speed is always going to be distance divided by time, right? So the distance is what? From the home to the park, right? So it's 3 kilometers. How long did it take? Half an hour. So why did I not put 30? Because the answer wants kilometer per hour. So your time, the unit must be hours. So it's not 30 because it becomes minutes. So it needs to be half an hour. So 0.5 divide is equal to 6. At the end of the day, they ask you for average speed. So average speed is just total distance, total time. So he jogged to the park and come back. By common sense, it's 6 kilometers. So it's 3 and 3. How much time it took? 1 hour, 2 hours. So it's 6 kilometers divided by 2 hours equal to 3. Finish. It takes 5 seconds to do. Okay, next one. This is our matrix. This is a bit non-standard because it's the numbers are a bit strange. But again, they ask you to write down the 2 by 3 matrix, row, column. Half the school got this wrong. Okay, you don't even know what is row and column. It's like that. The numbers come from where? Here, 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 here. It's always standard. It's either they give it like that or they give you a table. It's always the same. After that, they ask you to find R is P times Q, right? So this is P, this is Q. Times together. And again, so many people cannot times a matrix. At Sec 4 Prelim, you don't know how to times matrix. You must be kidding me, right? So it's row times the column will give you the first number. Row times this column will give you the second number. This row times this column, the third number. This row times this column, the fourth number. So how do you times? First thing in the row times first thing in the column. Second thing in the row times second thing in the column. So it's 6 times plus 1.5 plus 4 times 1.8. This is where the number comes from. For this number, it is 3 times this, 1 times this time this, all plus together. So same thing, this time this, this time this, this time this, all plus together. This time this, this time this, this time this, all plus together. That's it. So after that, they ask you what is this matrix mean? Now classically, you can just say, oh, it's the cos of A and B, but this is not the classic question, right? If you look at this number here, these 3 numbers are the cos of A, but these 3 numbers is the how much more or less in shop B. So it's the price difference. That's why the answer is the cost of all the drinks in shop A and the price difference if they have bought it in shop B. This is non-standard. Okay. Next question, we're at the end already. I endure. So I have 2 dice. One is 1 to 4, 1 to 6. So 1 to 6, 1 to 4. You do it the other way also can, doesn't matter. Okay, you draw it properly with ruler, and then they say it's the sum, right? So add together. So at this point is 1 plus 1, 2. At this one is 2 plus 1, 3. And you quickly can figure out how to do this. It's quite easy. A good practice to write down how many numbers in total. So it's 6 times 4. So it's 24 numbers in total. Okay. After that, you want in the simplest form, probability the sum is more than 6. So you literally come and look, where are the numbers more than 6? So it's this. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 numbers out of 24 numbers. That's what you want. And you simplify this for simplest form, right? Simplest form here becomes like that. That's the answer. Okay. After that, you flip a coin if the sum is a prime number. So how many prime numbers are there? I do it slanted, so it's easier. So 2 is a prime number, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4 is not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are 11 prime numbers. That's why it's 11 over 24. So when you flip a coin, heads up, then you win the prize. So the coin is just 50-50, right? So it's times half. That's the answer. Finish. Okay. So we're at the pyramid question now. So we want surface area. So now the most people got it wrong because you assume that it's going to be the base plus the 4 triangles. That's correct. But you assume that the triangles are all the same. That's where you're totally wrong. Because these 2 triangles are the same. Because they both have 12 as the base. And these 2 triangles are the same. Because they both have 10 as the base. So there are actually 2 different triangles. So it's base plus the 2 triangles, and the triangles are different. So let's do one. You will quickly see the idea. So let's do this ABE first. I draw it out. Okay, so it's this 10, right? So it's 5, 5, and the slanted one is 18. So it's all 18. So it's 18 here. So this is simple Pythagoras theorem. So I call it. I label it x. So I can see that I can just call it EX. It's more convenient. So EX EX plus 5 equal to 18. So like that, I write it down. I shift the 5 over, square root. This is the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. I got this 2. Notice I never do the decimal. I like to leave it as an exact form so it's more accurate, but it doesn't matter. So in this case, at the end of the day, is the base, which is 10 times 12, then plus the 2 triangles. So the 2 triangle, how to find? Half base times height. Okay, we are finding the slanted and the slanted. Okay, so it's half times base 10 times the height, which is this one, and then times 2, because there are 2 of them, so there's 2 triangles. Here is the same, but for the other triangle, the base is 12, is 28 times 2, and that's the answer. Okay, so we're at the last 2 questions, the 2 difficult questions. So a lot of people think that this is a number pattern. Is not. Okay, this is a square, 5-sided, 6-sided. So actually they just want the area of this. So this is a bit not clear. Let me zoom this a bit. Yeah, so there's actually 6 equal triangles here. So if the whole round is 360, I divide by 6, this is 60. And because this is the so-called regular, right, so every single line here is 8. So I can find one triangle. It's half AB sine C. Here, half AB sine C. How many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 6. So that's the answer. Okay. So after that, they ask you, why would the pyramid, this is the base of the pyramid, right? As the number of sides increase, why would the volume of the pyramid tend towards 335? The question is, this 335 come from where? So you must understand that if the sides keeps increasing, more and more sides, you can see that it becomes rounder and rounder. If you keep going and going and going, eventually the base will become a circle. Now we imagine a pyramid with the base is a circle. Why is it? It is basically just a cone. That's where the volume comes in. The cone's volume is 1/3 pi r squared times the height. The height is given here actually. So the height is 5. So that's where the 335 comes from. So your explanation is a few things. You must say that as the number of sides increase, the base becomes a circle. There's a key point I want to see. And then hence the pyramid becomes a cone. And that's why you use the cone formula. That's how you do it. Okay. Last question. This is a door. So they ask for this angle CAE, right? It's in the air. So I draw the thing outside. So this is the thing I want to find. So they tell you that CE, which is this line, is 1.5. So this is a triangle. The most important thing you must realize is these 2 lengths are actually the same. Now, why is this 2 lengths? It's the door, the diagonal of the door, and the diagonal of the door before it is open. So actually it's the same thing. So that's why this 2 number is the same. So I can find this diagonal by Pythagoras theorem, 2 and 3. That's why I put 2 squared plus 3 squared equal to AC squared, this one. And then adjust a bit, I get square root 13. Once I get these 2 number, I got this number, I got 3 sides. I want to find an angle is straight up cosine rule. So this is the cosine rule, finished, done. Okay, next part. They say that you're going to plot the distance travel from here to here. Is an arc thing, right? Doesn't matter what it is, it's just a distance travel as the door opens. So if you plot it out, it's definitely as the x gets more and more, it gets bigger, the distance is also bigger and bigger. So that's why it's just like that. Axis, this is the x, this is the y, which is the distance. But the problem is, they say they never use x. So instead of x degree, I use r, and r is a real number. So basically, I don't want to use x degree. I want to use a real number called r. In simple English, I want to change a degree to a real number, which is a radian. So that's what radian really means. You change the degree to a number so that everything else can be plotted. Because not many things have the x variable as a degree. So I need to change the degree to a number. So how do you do that? So you say that, okay, I want to change r into radian. So that's the explanation. How? Explain how, right? So explain how here. How do you do it? In radian, there's only one thing. 180 equal to pi. So I find 1 degree. I divide both sides by 180. This one I change to x, some number, I don't know what number. So I times x both sides like that. So this is the so-called conversion. So R is equal to this. That's it. Okay, so once you get this, you realize that, okay, so why R cannot be 3.2? So if you look at the diagram, this is a door, right? If you open the door, how big can you open? Maximum 180 degrees, right? You cannot open more, you hit the wall. So how big is 180 degrees? But we want radian, right? Because our R is a radian. So if I change 180 into radians, see 180 is equal to pi, right? What is pi? 3.142. So the maximum unit is 3.142 something. That's why 3.2 is more than enough. So I need to see the door can only open 180 degrees, and 180 degrees is 3.142 radian. That's why when the radian is 3.2 is more than enough. Never go more than that. Okay, so that's the so-called one of the hardest question around. So hope you have learned something and enjoyed doing this difficult paper. Some questions are really difficult, right? So hope you learned something. Thank you and bye-bye.